Floyd Mayweather's commanding victory over John Gotti III highlighted his prowess in the ring, but it was evident that the win itself was not the main highlight of the evening.
Floyd, take a shot at Floyd. Constantly be disrespectful. Constantly be disrespectful. When all I ever been was...
The real drama erupted backstage when a furious Gervonta Davis attacked Floyd Mayweather right after the exhibition match. Following months of heated exchanges and escalating tensions, Davis' attack on his former mentor marked a dramatic culmination of their ongoing feud. This latest incident came on the heels of Mayweather's criticisms of Davis, pushing their conflict to its breaking point. The boxing world is no stranger to high drama, and the rematch between Floyd Mayweather and John Gotti was no different.
Fight each other. I'm putting that on the table. Gervonta versus Floyd. We can cut all the...
However, what transpired in the ring diverged significantly from fan expectations. Far from being just another exhibition bout, this fight continued the saga that began with their first chaotic encounter. Anticipation for the rematch was intense, with many expecting another explosive clash. Instead, the bout showcased Mayweather's enduring dominance and tactical brilliance, though it could be considered one of the more uneventful fights of his storied career. Mayweather, ever the ring maestro, dictated the pace from the opening bell. His movements were fluid, his jabs precise, and his defense impenetrable. Gotti, despite his best efforts, was outclassed and unable to break through Mayweather's defense or land significant punches. The fight, spanning 8 rounds, proved to be a one-sided affair. Mayweather's footwork was flawless as he danced around his opponent, landing combinations with ease, while Gotti's attempts were either dodged or blocked with precise efficiency. Although the audience appreciated Mayweather's skill, there was an unmistakable sense of anticlimax. The excitement that had built up before the fight dissipated, replaced by the realization that this would not be the thrilling spectacle many had hoped for. By the end of the 8 rounds, it was evident who the victor was, even though the exhibition rules meant no official winner would be declared. At the final bell, the two fighters embraced, with Mayweather smiling and addressing the crowd. Ever the showman, he thanked Gotti for being a man of his word, saying he had to put on a show for the people. Gotti, despite the loss, remained respectful and admitted he still had what it takes. While the crowd and media dissected Mayweather's performance, the real drama was unfolding behind the scenes. Unbeknownst to the audience, tension had been brewing for months between Mayweather and his former protege, Gervonta Davis. Once close mentors, their relationship had soured into a bitter feud marked by public jabs and personal grievances. The long-standing animosity finally erupted in a shocking backstage altercation as Mayweather made his way back after the fight. Davis, who had attended the match, was waiting for him. Their strained relationship, exacerbated by Davis' frustration and being overshadowed by his former mentor, had played out publicly through social media exchanges and interviews. Mayweather, never one to shy away from confrontation, had criticized Davis' discipline and performance, fueling the conflict choices, claiming that Mayweather's footwork was flawless as he effortlessly danced around his opponent, landing combinations with ease. Gotti's attempts were either deftly dodged or blocked with precision, showcasing Mayweather's exceptional skill. While the audience appreciated Mayweather's technique, a palpable sense of anticlimax settled in as the fight progressed. The high expectations for an electrifying bout faded, replaced by the realization that the spectacle was less thrilling than anticipated. By the end of the 8 rounds, the outcome was clear, even though the exhibition rules meant no official winner was declared. After the final bell, the two fighters embraced, with Mayweather smiling and engaging with the crowd in his characteristic showman style. "We had to put on a show for the people," he said, thanking Gotti for his sportsmanship. Gotti, despite the loss, remained respectful, acknowledging Mayweather's skill, but asserting he still had plenty to offer. However, while the crowd and media focused on Mayweather's performance, the real drama unfolded backstage. The simmering tension between Mayweather and his former protege, Gervonta Tank Davis, finally reached its boiling point. Once a close mentor-student pair, their relationship had deteriorated into a bitter feud marked by public jabs and personal grievances. The long-standing animosity exploded in a shocking altercation as Mayweather headed backstage. Davis, who had attended the match, was waiting. Months of online exchanges and interviews had stoked the fires of their rivalry, culminating in this dramatic confrontation. Gervonta Tank Davis' rise in boxing was significantly influenced by Floyd Mayweather's guidance. However, Davis soon accused Mayweather of being egotistical and overbearing, claiming that Mayweather sought to control every aspect of his career. The backstage encounter between the two, which followed Mayweather's exhibition match against John Gotti III, was the culmination of this strained relationship. The altercation escalated quickly when Mayweather reportedly made a disparaging remark while passing by Davis. In an instant, Davis lunged at Mayweather, landing several hard punches before security intervened. Witnesses described the scene as a full-blown physical confrontation rather than just a heated argument. The animosity between them had clearly reached a breaking point with no turning back. This confrontation had been building for months, with tensions mounting leading up to the Gotti rematch. Davis had openly criticized Mayweather's recent exhibitions, dismissing them as trivial sideshows and accusing Mayweather of avoiding real competition. In response, Mayweather had questioned Davis's loyalty and maturity, suggesting that the young fighter struggled with the pressures of fame without his guidance. The ongoing feud, marked by public barbs and personal grievances, finally erupted into violence, underscoring the deep-seated issues between the former mentor and his protege. As the insults flew back and forth between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis, it became increasingly clear that a confrontation was inevitable. However, few could have predicted it would erupt so dramatically. The backstage altercation at the Gotti rematch was the culmination of long-standing tension, but it wasn't the only rivalry in the boxing world making headlines. The sparring sessions between Davis and a young prospect Moten, when Moten was just 15 or 16, had become legendary among boxing circles. Despite his age, Moten held his own against Davis, earning admiration from those who witnessed their intense sessions. Moten, reflecting on those early days, recalled with confidence the competitive spirit of their exchanges, noting how significant they had become in light of the recent developments. Davis's frustration with Mayweather had been palpable for some time. What began as a promising mentorship had deteriorated into a bitter rivalry. As Davis grew more independent and sought to carve out his own path in boxing, Mayweather, who was known for his controlling nature, resisted this shift. Their public feuds, particularly on social media, have been fueled by clashes of ego and control rather than just boxing. The introduction of Moten into the narrative has only added fuel to the fire. The rivalry between Davis and Mayweather, marked by personal grievances and public disputes, has now reached a boiling point. The dramatic backstage altercation at the Gotti rematch underscores the extent to which their relationship has soured, turning what was once a mentorship into a contentious battle of wills. Floyd Mayweather's vision for the future of boxing is increasingly focused on Moten, whom he views as a potential star surpassing what Gervonta Davis has achieved. Mayweather's admiration for Moten is evident in his efforts to position the young fighter as the next big thing in the sport. This move has not gone unnoticed by Davis, who is acutely aware that Mayweather's support for Moten could overshadow his own accomplishments. For Davis, this realization has heightened the urgency to confront Mayweather directly. The tension between Davis and Mayweather has escalated to the point where a showdown between them seems almost inevitable. This potential fight isn't just about settling past grievances. It's about establishing who is truly the best and proving that each fighter can stand independently of the other. The stakes are high, and if this bout were to happen, it would undoubtedly become one of the most eagerly anticipated matchups in recent boxing history. A potential fight between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis would represent a monumental clash of generations, a battle between a legendary figure and his former protege, and a test of whether the young challenger can finally dethrone the seasoned champion. As Mayweather enjoys retirement, he remains a master tactician, using his influence to elevate Moten, whom he views as a future star. Mayweather's public endorsement of Moten as a potential teenage world champion underscores his commitment to shaping the next generation of boxing talent. Davis, known for his explosive knockout power and aggressive style, would be up against a Mayweather who, while no longer in his physical prime, still possesses the ring intelligence and defensive prowess that cemented his place as one of the greatest of all time. The stakes are incredibly high, making this potential matchup one of the most anticipated and significant in recent boxing history.